Newark, I think that like there's a new Newark. Newark Public Schools is coming back, and we've got three other dynamic schools coming back, telling you why they are the best place to educate your children. So we have the. So I'm just gonna give it back and introduce these wonderful people that we have here on our show. We have the principals. Well, actually, I will let Ms. Norton. I'm not going to introduce you that way.
Don't.
I'm not, because like last time I made that mistake, it was like, yeah, you had to go through 10 minutes of disclaimers.
I do.
Right.
And I will do it again.
So co-host of All Politics All Local, Asia Norton, will introduce our guest as official co-host of All Politics All Local.
Yes, so happy Friday, happy Love Month, happy Black History Month, Women's Heart Day, and also Women's Heart Day. And so you, this is great.
All the time.
So the voices that you're hearing, as Jonathan said, are three phenomenal high school principals in the city of Newark, and I'm biased. I'm connected to these high schools one way or another, typically through my family.
South Ward, is it South Ward?
Yes, it is South Ward. And so from Malcolm X Shabazz High School, we have Principal Gifted. Say hello.
Peace, everybody. How's everyone doing this evening?
Yes. So from Weekway High School, we have Principal Hollis.
Thanks.
And then from last but not least, from University High School, Principal Hamilton.
Things forward.
Yay! She's a smart one. She's like, plug. This is what we were doing. And so just like a little background, my mother went to Weekway High School. My father went to Southside, now Shabazz.
Wow.
And then my aunt and my sister, they went to university. But my aunt went to university when was within the school at Malcolm X. And so I felt the reason I'm bringing on the principals, open enrollment, Newark is going through the enrollment process. And next week on Friday, February 14th, the application is closed. And so just for parents or families or students who are still undecided about where they should send their students to, we have three phenomenal high schools in the South Ward, the city of Newark. And these principals have truly worked their tails off since the day that they came on board as principals of their respective high schools. And so sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of preconceived ideas about our high schools. But it's phenomenal work that is being done.
And I think like all three being done by Newark natives, products of Newark Public Schools, right? Like and you could represent where you came from. Because I think that like parents knew that the people who are running their schools, who are asking like, hey man, we can educate your kids and be the best at it. Like, tell them something about yourself and your biography as well.
Yeah. And so I'm going to say women's first. So,
we'll take it. I am obviously a Newark native. I actually went to University High School. I started at Camden Middle School. But I went to University High School. I was a scholar athlete. That's how we refer to it at the Phoenix family.
All right.
I'm a scholar athlete at University High School. Basketball, volleyball, and softball.
That's right.
Wow. I didn't know.
It's like I'm an athlete.
Always kept scholar first. Thanks to all my wonderful staff at university, my teachers who were there with me. Went on to Tuskegee University, one of the best historically Black colleges and universities.
You won't hear anyone contesting that. There's no other HBCU rep.
Even if there were. And then went on to Rutgers, but came back. I was a principal outside of Newark Public Schools, but it's an honor to actually return home, not just to Newark Public Schools, but to University High School and serve as the principal of the school that actually raised me. So it is nothing more exciting and humbling than to have an opportunity to educate the students in my school building. I love my students. They're my babies. I call them that every morning when they come in, and I'm standing outside greeting them every day, because that's really what it's about. Those people at University High School, when I was there, truly impacted my life. My mother was a single parent of 7, so many of them were my other parents. And so it's my job to be the parents of the students that walk through my halls every day, and to provide with them the same love, direction, and then education to help them become successful and realize their gifts in life.
Nice. Who's gonna top that?
Oh wow! I'm gonna let Principal Hollis go before me.
Man.
Like, that's great. All the principals sticking together.
So listen, I was born and raised in the South Ward. I was born on 11th Street and Avon Avenue, and I went to all South Ward elementary schools. They're now all charter schools. And so I attended Bellsburg High School. I later moved to the West Ward and attended Bellsburg High School, graduated from Bellsburg High School. Let me give a little plug right here. Jonathan and I were in the hall over Bound together.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Known each other since we were like 14, 15
That's
years
right.
old.
That's right. Let me say that Jonathan was like the best debater in the city. Like, we were like groupie, Jonathan groupies back then.
Oh! Don't tell my business, man.
That's Jonathan Dawson right there, you know? Anyway, went on to Rutgers University. I planned on majoring in criminal justice.
Rutgers Newark?
Rutgers, New Brunswick,
Okay,
Rutgers
okay.
College. I attended Rutgers College, and my intent was to actually go into criminal law, right? And to help my brothers and sisters who were in the system, incarcerated, prison system. But then I realized, I said, you know what? Rather than try to help adults who've already been in trouble, let me start at the bottom. And so I became an elementary school teacher. I attempted several times to teach in the city of Newark. I could not. I went on to Plainfield. I was a teacher in 3rd and 4th grade for about 7 years, technology coordinator for about another 7 years. Then I got an opportunity to come back to the city, to Newark. It was an opportunity for me to be a principal at a charter school. And so I thought, listen, at the time, I want to get back home.
Yeah,
How I get there,
because the same kid.
how I get there is irrelevant, but I need to get back home. So I got an opportunity to be a principal at a charter school in Newark for 10 years. And then after that, I was right at the time that the local control was on its way back to Newark. I said, I'm gonna jump on this shit right here.
That's
So
right.
That's radio.
yeah.
Yeah, he said shit. He said shit. Right?
He
said shit.
Shit. Right?
Yeah,
So
shit.
after I jump on this boat, you know,
Okay, Gail. What do you do?
an opportunity to be a
Wait,
principal at high school. But my only request was, I said, listen, if you guys choose me, I want the lowest performing school. I want the school that nobody wants, because I know there's the opportunities right there. So this is going on my 3rd year at Weequahic High School. When I first got there, we had 291 students enrolled. Right now, we have 402.
Nice.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Our attendance for the past several months have been over 90%.
Wait, can you just tell the background of where it was?
Wow.
Just a few months ago, and just the jump that Weequahic High School has made.
So we were previously our attendance rate was like, honestly, 80s, middle 80s, low 80s, middle 80s, and we just got, you know, just that leadership. I just started getting on fire. Like, listen, telling my staff, like, we got to do this for real. Like, I'm a product of this city. These are my kids. When they come to that door, like Principal Hamilton said, they're mine. And I don't take that responsibility lightly. These are my children. And so, again, like Principal Hamilton, when I greet them in the morning, I'm taking the temperature. How are you doing? I can tell you come to that door, if something's wrong with you, I have to tell you, step to the side. We need to have a talk, right? So I'm taking temperature every morning to find out how my babies are doing in the morning. So so attendance is important. And, you know, the research says when kids are in school, basically they're in school, they tend to do better academically. So that's what it's about, that attendance. So now we're at over 90%. We're making sure that we have activities that all our students and all of our committees, whether they're committees with adults, we have children on every committee.
Yeah.
Our student activities committee have children on the committee, not only adults. So it's about getting kids involved in their own lives, and that's what we do at high school.
And also, when you're taking those temperatures, you're also building relationships and like knowing the issues that they may be coming with, or not just issues, but just getting to know who they are and like what their needs are. And so that personal connection. Do you go to school, or do you talk to people, or do you learn from people that don't really know you, or do you really vibe with people that are asking you questions to really get to know you? So that's a nice personal touch. And last but not least, Principal Gifted from Malcolm X High School.
And the last name says it all, right? Gifted. You got to send your kids there.
Well, once again, my name is Nasir Gifted, principal at Malcolm X High School. Born on Mapes and Osborne. right there in Beth Israel High School. I mean, my roots run real deep in Newark. Went to George Washington Carver. Graduated from Science High School.
Georgia.
Not Science Park. I was at Science High. You know.
My science high.
And then I continued my higher education right up the street here at New Jersey Institute of Technology, where I majored in electrical engineering. Studied engineering, graduated, worked at PSA&G for a number of years, worked at East Orange Water Commission, but always was connected to the community and always did workshops and tried to, help develop that next generation of technology leaders. That was always been my focus. With that, 9/11 happens, and I made a transition. I moved from engineering into education, became a substitute teacher, and it was those students that I was working with at Science, Arts, and a number of other schools that said that you should be our teacher. And at that point I was still looking to transition. I was still looking to transition back into engineering, not really knowing, but I always had that that commitment, that connection to the community, and always liked to work with young people. Fast forward, I worked my way through the ranks. I went from a sub to now, principal of a high school. I was at Central High School for about 17 years. And now, I am, fortunate to be the leader over at Malcolm X Shabazz High School. We've been growing our program.
Can I throw something else in it for your biography? Because I just got to do this, right? Because Mr. Gifted is actually very gifted. I didn't know about the engineer by training, right? But not only is he an engineer by training, he's actually an accomplished artist. He's a comic book artist that does a really good independent comic book. And I'm just like, you're an artist, an engineer, and that's who we need in Newark, training our children.
Well, I mean, the training from engineers and, the root of engineer is problem solver, right? So we look at problems that are in our community, problems that's going on, and come up with possible solutions for those. So, as I transitioned to Malcolm X Shabazz, that was, one of the things that, I gravitated to. People recommended I do not go there because of the words, because of the rumors of what was going on over there. But when I arrived there, we have our great things and we have, we had some troubles or whatever. But the one thing that I did notice is that we have a great amount of scholars, and I call them scholars.
That's right.
That go above and beyond, the call of duty. And, just to add to some of our accolades, we were second, third as far as scholarship money, throughout the district. This past year, we had 145 over 148 students graduate this past year, as far as our graduation rate is concerned. And we've just built our engineering program where we've launched a partnership with our higher education partner, which is NJIT, as well as our industry partner, which is Stryker.
Who's Stryker?
Stryker is the leading pharmaceutical company, biomedical engineering company, basically in the world.
Wow.
So they're going to be pouring a ton of resources in there for our children to be able to be those next generation of technology leaders.
So what you're telling me, right? And this is true for both Shabazz and Weequay, right? Like, it seems like you're bringing in people from the outside as well. Like, I believe that there's St. Barnabas, and I mean, I'm just looking on the website, and I'm seeing that you have a lot of community partners. You're telling me at Shabazz, you have the largest pharmaceutical company in the world directly mentoring your kids in terms of engineering,
yes,
and in terms of pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
So, I mean, tell me a little bit more about that, because a lot of times this does not get heard. When people say Weequay and when people say Shabazz, like, you have to deal, just like when people told you that, oh, you shouldn't go there, right? Like,
To be a principal.
Right, to be a principal. You shouldn't
say your child.
Right, to be a principal, they said you shouldn't be there. But you have the largest pharmaceutical company in the world. You have an engineering program. There's a medical program at Weequay. tell us, how do you deal with all the noise that's out there, with all the other, like the different charters, like, oh, don't send your kid there, with all of the publicity? How do you deal with, like, how do you get people to understand that it's a new day in Weequay and it's a new day in Shabazz?
And university.
Oh yeah, and university always had good days. So I mean,
the Phoenix.
Let's speak about the law academy at university too. Let's not forget that.
Okay,
Fair
academy. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So for Weequay High School, I just stay focused on the students, and when we have to publicize, we do our PR. But the most important part for me is to stay out of the noise and stay focused on children.
Mm-hmm.
So at Weequay High School, our partners are Robert Wood Johnson, St. Barnabas Medical Systems, Beth Israel Hospital. Our students, as we speak, 15 of our students are actually interning at Beth Israel Hospital. I'm sorry, it's a paid internship. And then in the summertime, we get about 35 students who actually go back to paid internship.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Wood Johnson, Beth Israel, they actually save those slots just for our students. So our students are working in phlebotomy, EKG technician, patient care, a myriad of different allied health jobs that they work in with Beth Israel. Our educational partner is...
Wait, I just want to hit on, when you say internships, you say it with ease, but getting an internship is not easy whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're saying getting internships as high school students. So between 14 and 18 years old, give or take, there's college students that have difficulties with getting internships, let alone a paid internship. And so this is truly something very significant, that during the school year, that your children, after they have their courses during the day, that they can go, and Weequay is minutes away from Beth Israel Hospital. And so they can walk to work. And also, people that go to Beth Israel Hospital are people of the community. And so they're giving back to their community and working with our community in the health services. And that's very, very significant.
That's very significant. And our students don't take it lightly. They get so much experience. And this, the self-esteem piece, plays such a big role in them going and working at Beth Israel Hospital. It's really fantastic. And as our educational partners with Rutgers School of Nursing, Rutgers School of Health Professions, the same thing is going to happen in the summertime for our students. And not only that, they're also coming into the schools, teaching our children the different types of how to get the certification. Because this entire piece of launching our medical programs is so intense. You just can't come to school and miss one day. You miss one day, you're behind 2 weeks. You understand? So our students know the importance of this. We stress the importance of them being. That's why it's important for them to be in school every day.
So these particular certifications, one would receive after high school, going through some type of career technical, vocational schooling, correct?
No. While they're in high school, so I'll give you an example. So I'm a freshman. I come into Weequay High School. After my freshman year, I declare what pathway I want to go to. So I want to go into phlebotomy. I take the pathway towards phlebotomy. On the way there, I'm working towards my certification. So when I graduate, not only does that graduate receive a high school diploma, they receive a certification in phlebotomy. They're able to now either
in what? A certification? What?
Phlebotomy technician.
What is that?
Oh, they're learning how to draw blood.
Okay.
Properly.
Wait, but on top of that, there are people that leave high school and go off to another type of educational institution to receive that certification, and that funds, like they have to pay for that type of certification.
Absolutely.
I don't know that type of the cost behind it, but let's say that's like $10,000. Newark Public Schools just provided a certification that would have cost you $10,000 if you have went in on your own.
Absolutely. Absolutely correct.
Wow.
Absolutely correct.
Saving money.
All the time.
So they can make money.
Yes.
Wow.
But we definitely want to be able to hear from a university.
Wow.
Because I university, we want to showcase the diamonds in the South, right? Because we have a lot of gems that are sitting and residing right in the South,
right.
And we want to be able to shine a light on that. So even though we are 3 separate principals at 3 separate institutions. We are together in the South Ward, looking to rebuild that up. I'm born and raised in the South Ward, so I have, a certain stake in this investment, as well as the other principals. So that's why we are here, and we're looking to, develop that area that has been decimated over the years as far as schooling and school closures, but being able to build that back up.
And just real quick, we
say we just because this is radio, people might not know who's speaking.
Right. So this is Principal Hollis. So Principal Hamilton, Principal Gifted, and we have also worked in the community prior to becoming principals. So
True.
Prior to becoming principals, 3 of us. So
how long have you
all 3 of you, right?
3 of us. Oh, man. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, early 2000s, 20 years.
Yes. So there's a connection before we became principals. We've done work in the community years ago.
Wow, started from the bottom, now we here? I know that's right. Hey.
But the Law Academy at University, actually, Newark Public School is doing an awesome job at promoting these academies in different schools. Give all students across the city options and really a jump start on their career path. So shout out to our superintendent, because that is an amazing initiative of his.
Clarity 2020.
Superintendent Leon.
Also a charger.
But the Law Academy at University actually has existed now for 14 years. It was probably one of the first schools with a academy pathway. And so we now have 2 academies at University. One is our Law Academy, the Thurgood Marshall Law Academy, in a partnership with Rutgers University, where our students are looking obviously to engage with opportunities from all types of legal firms we engage in and go to and attend. In addition to the attorneys coming to our school, the partnership with Rutgers will allow our students to graduate from high school with 60 college credits.
Wow.
In addition to
you said 60 college credits?
Yes, 60 college credits.
How much are college credits currently?
Too much.
Wow, right, they're expensive.
We don't have that.
So you could be so you're saying you could go to University High School, and when you graduate, you could be a junior in college?
Junior in college. And we also have the same opportunity in our Teachers Academy program. As principals, we know one of the probably most challenging thing is recruiting teachers of color. And so our Teachers Academy is specifically driven to guide our students of color into the teaching profession.
So that's very important because we always talk about, we hear this term, school to prison pipeline. And so I strongly believe that to kill a pipeline, you have to create other pipelines. And so for that, for instance, that's creating a school to school or school to teacher pipeline directly.
Teacher, any form of educator. And we try to instill in our students that the opportunities in education don't just mean teaching, right? We want them to aspire to be future principals and administrators and really lead the district, be the next Superintendent Leon. He's a product of the Newark Public School. We're products of the Newark Public School. And I want them to aspire to be that. And so in the Teachers Academy, we partner with Montclair State University. And again, our students have an opportunity by their senior year to have 60 college credits to go to Montclair State. And they have a specific pipeline for students of color, a support system already built into Montclair State University, where our students are received there and supported through their college career as well, into their master's program and to graduate with a master's degree in education. So it is a huge opportunity for our students at University High School to really work hard, but also to have something to aspire to be and give our students a jump start. So when they go to college, like you said, save time, save money. It's just an advantage that a lot of people don't have.
Can you also just highlight, this is my favorite part about University High School, but your courtroom? How dope is that?
Wait, University High School has its own courtroom?
University has its own courtroom.
Nice.
Students actually take courses, all our law academy students take courses in an actual courtroom. It literally looks just like a courtroom. Our students actually love it. We are actually partnering now. We're working with the city to actually host our Newark Youth Court right out of University High School.
Wow.
That is a program where the city actually has a program set up through their system where students who are having challenges in school are referred to the Newark Youth Court. And the Newark Youth Court puts interventions and different things in place to help support the students get back on the right trajectory.
Who's in charge of the youth court?
At university or through the city?
So when a student goes up to the youth court,
students. It's student ran. Students are the judge, jury, prosecutor, defense attorney. And they seriously are trained though. It's a real serious thing. So although it's the students involved, it's a really serious thing where students are trained to be in these roles and really take it seriously, right? When you're coming to court, you're coming to court. And so their parents have to go with them. But realistically, the student is sitting there, with their defense attorney,
Who is a student.
And they defend them the best they can, but also when things are sanctioned, whatever is sanctioned for them in order to return, whether it's community service, participation in a program, it really is aimed at supporting the students and getting back on track.
And how amazing is that students are being held accountable by their peers,
Right?
And not by an adult that may not know their background, but that may not know the circumstances that they come from, but a peer that understands their lived experience and can decide what I'm going to use the word punishment, but I don't think that's the best word to use. But what action is most suitable for
intervention?
Intervention that's most suitable for the action that the student caused.
Right.
I think that's very, 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 very powerful, and that's located where
University High School.
Okay, Phoenix.
No, Phoenix forward. Shout out to our big debater, right?
Actually, I was gonna do that. Wow.
We got a shout out. They're in competition right now.
You do realize that I was gonna. You saw my face when I came up. When I came up, you were like, "You're gonna talk about Mercy."
Yes.
Right? University High School has had a history of having really good debaters, right? Like the current coach of Rutgers Newark. The current debate coach of Rutgers Newark is a former Phoenix.
Yes.
And I love the Phoenix debaters because they always help me at science. Like some of the best help I've ever had at science. Like Elijah Smith helped teach me a lot about debate, right? Was a Phoenix. You have a current Rutgers debater who was also a Phoenix, who's debating around the country as a Rutgers debater. And you have someone who is now, she's one of the top debaters in the country this year. She's a junior. But next year when she's a senior, oh man, she's gonna set the entire country ablaze with what she does. And I'm saying that like university is proud of its debate program, and I am proud that they have a wonderful debate program. And I'm saying for Weekway and Shabazz, like get debate programs.
No,
I will help. Get debate
next
programs.
Year is the inaugural season for our debate program.
Remember,
This is Malcolm, Principal Gifted of Malcolm X Shabazz High School. We will be starting our debate program next year. We started with Stand and Deliver this year to get our students or scholars introduced into the debate. So now we're looking to move forward with that moving next year. I just got finished putting that in the budget.
And I'm saying if you are looking for coaches, like I have connects to like various really quality coaches around the country who may want to come to Newark and work with our students and work with our population. So like that comes from, if you have people, that's great. If I will help train anybody you got. If you don't have people, like, there are some coaches that are like, yo, I don't want to work where I'm working right now, but I'd love to be a part of what Newark is doing in debate.
And we're going to definitely take you up on that, Jonathan. So same thing at Weekway High School. As a matter of fact, our superintendent Roger Nolan has put into place that every school has to have a debate team.
Yep.
Right.
So we're proud of that. So like Principal Gifted said, I put it in my budget. We're going to be ready for that next year. We've had to deliver at our school for the past several years. So I'm looking forward to having a debate team.
I have to give a shout out to these principals because legit, they are in the midst of budget season. And
true.
And so just for people if they're not familiar, and so this is the season where schools, the district central office, they are reviewing the budget for the upcoming school year. And so when people are discussing about, oh, I want this program at my school, they feel like they sometimes say if I advocate for it right now, it's going to happen right now. The time to advocate for programs to come to your school is during this season, budget season, because monies are being particularly placed in certain budget lines, program lines, and that truly the budget truly does determine all the different activities that the schools have. And so I say that truly because principals in the city of Newark are responsible for developing their budgets, and then they go up to central office and they defend their budget.
Say that again. Defend a dissertation. We have to defend our budgets.
Every line.
And they defend it.
Principals and 20 other people around the table and stand firm.
Wow.
Yeah, presentation and everything.
Yes, it truly is. But when I tell tell you, and I've seen some of these folks that sit next to me and defending their budget. When I tell you that they are fighting for every cent, every penny to go towards programs that the community told them we need this for our students, and they are defending it and it's incredible. And I'm just watching. I can only be a fly on the wall. I'm like, wow.
Is this a new thing in terms of defending the budget in the way? Because it sounds like you're standing in a room full of people and you're just like, it's like, yo, what do you want? And you need to explain every line. Now that's just, is that a...
Yeah, so historically, within the last few years, so Superintendent Leon brought this system back. It was implemented during, I think, the Janey administration. And then after that administration was kind of watered down, but Superintendent Leon brought this back during his first year as superintendent for principals to defend their budgets. And you can, it's very enlightening. And I personally think it helps, and the principals are here, it's helpful because once they defend it, it's still not absolute. They can then go back in their budget and still make corrections or something of the sort.
This is Principal House. We have to go back to the community, make a community presentation.
Wow.
After it's been vetted through and approved through the central office, and then if the community is not satisfied with the budget results from the meeting from the defending it, we can request to go back in for another defense of the budget, saying no, the community wants this. And so that's how it works.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
I mean, not nice for you, but it's nice in terms of a process.
I personally think it is nice for the principals because it's showing their will and it's showing their investment to the program and to their commitments to the students and to the community. Me personally, I was not on the quote unquote hot seat, and so it might be a little nerve-wracking.
You said something that was key to me that's important to the students, right? So prior to even developing my budget, I sat with my students.
I know that's right.
And I allowed my students to create 3 goals for the school. From a student's perspective, set those goals and then them create things that they wanted to support those goals to the budget. And to me, that was the most empowering thing for the students to experience. Like, we're in an auditorium by grade level. We put together some workshops for them. They had to collectively decide on 3 goals per grade level. And then we collectively defended it to come up with 3 goals for the school, for the students. And so empowering, I think that was the most empowering part.
Powerful.
Just to see them get engaged in it. And now when you go defend it to the community, they are the community really that you're representing.
Well, certainly.
So what better way to represent their interest than to involve them at the start of the process?
Out of curiosity, what were the 3 goals?
Oh God. So one goal, well, actually there were 3. I'll go through the top 3 and then I'll go through the 4th one. So the first one was they wanted an increase in some of the extracurricular offerings at the school. Easy. The second goal, they actually wanted to get involved in recruitment. And they told me specifically they wanted more Black male teachers in the building.
Oh,
wow.
Period.
Okay.
Yes. Which I was like, okay. Put stickies up. They had to post this on their board. Seriously. Right. And then the final goal was really to help increase the level of rigorous courses in our school. So we're doing a lot of work with our colleges, like I said, to get to the 60 credits, because that's what our students want. More advanced placement courses. These are what students want. Our students are ready. And so we just have to deliver. The more you raise the bar, the more they raise up to reach the bar.
And I also like that at university, you're starting to do debate as a class. Because I think that is something that will help. I think that should be in every high school. I think that you should teach debate as a class. And I offer...
Jonathan's going real hard with this plug for debate. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm just saying, right? I believe it. I live it.
He was birthed through debate. Debate is in his blood.
It is.
Pumps through his veins.
I believe it. I live it.
Coached by Brent Ferrand. I know.
Yeah, I believed it. I live it. And what I also do is, like, for adults, for professionals, for anyone, I offer just ways to look at the skills that we teach in debate for adult and everyday life. And so I would love it if the principals, I'll give you the dates, if you wanted to come and see some of the stuff that we do, and to see if it's applicable for the stuff that you do. Because I think that understanding the depth of which debate can help every single one of your courses and make so many things easier for you, your teachers, for communication, for all of these things. I think it's applicable across the board. So I would love to, have you guys at some point. I'll reach out to you to come to one of the workshops or bring people, and you can see how debate could be utilized within your school to help all of your other programs. It's not just one team. It will history, English, all of your programs will be raised through having the kids and teachers having an understanding of like basic debate.
And that's what when I mentioned this Principal Hollis again. When I mentioned the superintendent's charge in every high school debate, that's what I'm talking about. We're required to have debate in the classroom, not just a debate team, but it has to be integrated, embedded in all curricular areas.
Nice.
So that's the charge we've been given for debate. That's principals.
Also, I just want to kind of go back to Shabazz High School, and it was probably around this time last year that I was able to visit the school. Actually, no, it was during when it was like an open house for the incoming freshmen or eighth graders who were interested in the school. And Principal Gifted was like, "Hey, do you want to see our cosmetology room?" I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, sure, I want to go see it."
Wow.
And so we go down the basement, we go inside the room, and at first it just looks like, okay, there's like tables, there's chairs, and he's like, so there's a whole salon behind this wall. I'm like, what are you talking about, a salon? Homie took me behind this wall. I was like, wow, there's a whole salon.
Yeah, that's the Madam C.J. Walker Natural Health and Beauty Sciences Academy.
Wow.
So that.
Can you tell us more about this?
The Madam C.J. Walker and
Madam C.J. Walker. So with our Madam C.J. Walker Natural Health and Beauty Sciences Academy, that is our cosmetology track or academy, where our scholars get the opportunity to get their certification in cosmetology. They go through a number of courses. What we build into our senior classes is that with all of our academies, actually, there's a capstone where our scholars would actually have to develop a product or service, present that in front of a panel, just like you would do on Shark Tank. And that's a part of their senior project. So along with that, our goal is for them to be able to develop their own product line and be even more marketable, based on if they wanted to open their own business or wanted to pursue a higher education pursuit.
Why did you name it after, who's this Madam C.J. Walker? And why did you name this Cosmetology Institute after this person?
Well, I mean, from a historical perspective, the reason that we have hair care products, the reason that our Black women go out and be beautiful based on the straightening comb all the way down to the perm. I'm not with the perm, but is because of Madam C.J. Walker, and she was one of the first black female millionaires, and actually one of the Black millionaires in this country, based on her business savvy and developing her product line, for enhancing the beauty of women. Particularly her niche was Black women, and then it spread to all women.
We have, we're beginning to wrap up, and I definitely want to give everyone an opportunity to have their last plug, but making sure that we have our listeners and some of our viewers know the exact academies. And so we kind of hinted at some of the academies that we have, but truly go into a little bit more depth of the academies that each school has and the partners. Because I also think university, you're partnering with McCarty English too, right? And so definitely, we're going to start with Weekway. Go Indian.
Weekway, IP, Indian Pride. So listen, Principal Hollis, Weekway High School, we are the school of the Allied Health Academies. We have one academy. We're going to do this. We don't have different academies. We have one academy. Do this.
You're going to be great.
We're going to be great
at
for
this.
now. So we have our pathways will lead to a certification in phlebotomy technician, EKG technician, medical billing specialist, sports therapist technician, and patient care technician also. So those three pathways will lead you to receive a certification upon graduation. That certification can lead you whether you want to continue with college, medical school, or to go right into a job right after high school.
Or to pay for school while
you
have a job while you're in school.
Absolutely. There's so many options available for students at this point. So upon graduation, after I hand you that diploma, I want to hand you a certification at the same time. And eventually, our next step is for us to be able to hand you an associate's degree. So by the time you graduate from Weequahic High School, you won't have 60 credits, you'll have 33 credits of college credits after high school.
We're trying to get to the 60.
I have to give a shout out to Weequahic High School Alumni Association, Mara Lawson. She is phenomenal. The amount of money that the organization fundraises each and every year. They give about 5 or 6 students, seniors, scholarships for 4 years.
Wow.
It's truly the Weequahic Alumni Association truly is phenomenal. They're just not big, but they truly give back on every day. She's there every single day.
She's there every day, and they've given out over more than $500,000 since their inception.
I'm sorry, how much?
A little bit over $500,000 of Weequahic students. Our students have received at least over $500,000 in scholarships just from this one alumni organization. There are Weequahic alumni. There are Weequahic alumni who have Weequahic High School in scholarships in their will. So we're still receiving money from generations of our Jewish alumni who long past, but in their will, they'll put money towards Weequahic High School.
Now, a lot of people don't realize that Weequahic goes back a long way. Like one of the best American writers, Philip Roth, went to Weequahic High School. And he was considered as one of the best American writers, one of the best writers in the world, actually, because he was up for the Nobel Peace Prize for his writing. Came from Newark. One of the things I really love about reading a Philip Roth novel is that they all take place. Some parts of them take place in Newark and the streets. And he talks about the ethnic communities, like what the South Ward was, and the reason why the Jewish delicatessen is there, right? Like that was just bought out by Kai Campbell. Like these things have history. Weequahic has a history, right? It has a long, proud history in the city of Newark. And I don't think people realize that how much love comes from it. Like one of the things I was going to ask is that, how to push back against the noise or push back against the people who are like, oh, I'm not going to send my kid there. Those people don't even know the history, the strength, the pride that's been around for years. Like, don't call it a comeback. Y'all been here for years, right? And so I'm just like saying that needs to be pushed more. Like everybody needs to know what Weequahic stands for. That y'all you have the best alumni association in the city, with possible the exception of arts.
And I
right?
definitely want to mention how the current
I'm gonna debate you on that.
I might lose on that one. Yeah.
The current lieutenant governor. Let me say that again. The current lieutenant governor of the state of New Jersey is a Weequahic alumni.
Sheila Oliver graduated from Weequahic?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Yes, she most certainly did. The current.
See, we all need to know that.
Yeah, and she is the first African American female lieutenant governor. And when you look at the nation, she is one of the first African American lieutenant governors in our history. And so, but going on to Shabazz.
Are we going to Shabazz? I thought we was going to go to university.
Save the best for last.
Okay.
Whoa!
All right. Now, that was Asia Norton saying that. That was not Principal Gifted saying that.
That's okay.
Malcolm
My
X
auntie will be
Shabazz
very
was-
proud. Shout out to Aunt Robin.
So we have a great tradition within Malcolm X Shabazz / Southside High School community. Historically, we are 101 years old.
Wow.
101. I believe is
I introduced you first, actually. I was trying to go in the order in which they were.
no, actually, hold on. Somebody's going to correct me, but I believe it. Let me go back. I believe it's 1914. I might have to look that up. So that will be 106 years old. So going into our academies, we actually have our engineering academy. We know that throughout the country, the STEM representation for Black and Browns is below 5%. So we wanted to make sure that we are equipping our scholars with opportunities within the next 10 years, the next 20 years, because this is the largest growth market that's coming out. Also, we have our Madam C.J. Walker cosmetology. And with that, we have our Gerald Lawson's Video Game and App Development Academy, where we have our scholars developing apps with on the Apple platform, as well as doing video games as well. So those are our 3 academies. We do have 3, though 2 were already pre-existing before I got there, and then we just added this year our engineering academy.
Nice.
Yeah, and Shabazz has their own app. Like they have their own app.
Yes, you can download the Malcolm X Shabazz app.
And I definitely like if Weekway University should ask one of Shabazz students to create their own app. I think that would be really cool. So University High School.
University High School.
Go Phoenix.
Go Phoenix. Home of the Humanities. Phoenix forward always. We started actually the 7th grade, so we are enhancing our 7th and 8th grade gifted and talented program, who also get exposure to the same academy. So in addition to enhancing our debate programs with our younger students, we also are allowing them opportunities to get exposure to our Law Academy classes and our Teacher Academy classes. Our Thurgood Marshall Pre-Law Academy is our long-standing 14-year rich history of Law Academy program at university. And our Teachers Academy is our baby of the bunch. This is our first year with our Teachers Academy, but through a strong partnership with Montclair State University, the Teacher Academy is pushing forward. We just welcomed Dr. Bettina Love on yesterday to come and talk about social justice and education with our scholars, and they moved her away. We are just rocking over here at university and just letting our scholars know, again, the opportunities that are available to them are limitless. And so whatever they want out of this world and out of this life, they can absolutely grab it. And we just want them to know that those opportunities exist. Send your babies over to me. I need them, but I want to inspire them to just be great. And like I said, the same city that raised me, there's so much greatness and so much more here to enhance our students these days when we were even students in all of these academies at Shabazz, Weekway, and University. So whatever your niche is, find a school that is suitable to you. Get there. Parents, we need you.
Yes.
So please be partners with us in this work.
And just a quick plug, we're going to have our mandatory parent. Oh, excuse me. This is Principal Gifted of Malcolm X Shabazz High School. We're going to have our mandatory parent meeting on Tuesday.
Mandatory.
Yes, mandatory parent meeting on Tuesday, February 11th at 9 a.m. We actually going to do 2 sessions from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
And so as we wrap up, I have to make sure I ask this very, very critical question that we ask all of our guests. She knows already. But who is your favorite hip hop artist or group?
Individual or group, yeah.
How is this ready?
Carol's one.
All right.
Old school.
I'm proud of it.
School. Hamilton.
I'm pretty consistent. Tupac Shakur just has some lyrics that really just speak. So, I know sometimes people look at him with an eyebrow, but just sit back and listen to some of his lyrics. Brother Hollis. He might some of KRS-One lyrics.
Fair.
He's on the shoulders of KRS-One.
I agree 100%.
All right.
So I agree with the lyricist. This is Principal Gifted. My hip hop artist is Talib Kweli.
Nice.
As well as my group will be Dead Prez.
Okay.
Wow,
oh, and it's funny because Dead Prez made that song about the schools.
Yeah.
So
they schools.
Yes. So.
And so I did say save the best for last for university, but at the end of the day, it is South Ward strong, and I truly believe that no matter what school you send your child to in the city of Newark, whether it be technology, whether it's Arts High School, whether it be East Side, our superintendent has certainly is making sure that your child is going to receive a quality education, and the schools that are being represented here are a true representation of where the city currently is and where the city is going towards. And so thank you again, Principal Hollis, Principal Hamilton, Principal Gifted, for coming on this show on a Friday evening in the midst of budget season and even evaluations.
Right.
Oh, I know. So thank you so much. And then also the application for Newark and Rolls closes next Friday, February 14th. Please go on the website, Newark and Rolls, and consider 1, 2, 3 of these schools. Thank you.
And sorry about that, but thank you. And this has been All Politics Are Local. Thank you, principals, for coming out and representing like the power of the Newark Public Schools. Thank you, Asia, best co-host, producer, person who just finds all the best guests. So
Thank
you know, so
it's really not
right.
me.
So yeah, so also though, you know, we have gotten into a DJ Rhino's time, but DJ Rhino is by far the best DJ in the entire universe. And so I'm not gonna even take any more time. I'm just gonna say thank you. And DJ Rhino, I'm not even gonna ask if you're ready. DJ Rhino, you're on.
Thank you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I already heard that pop in the background. He done queued up the pop.
Good job. It's probably easier to find, KRS-One.
I wasn't.